Release. Relax. Receive. The MAD about domestic violence awareness and educational film. Why You MAD aims to raise awareness about domestic violence through diverse and creative expressions from survivors, individuals, and business owners.
Welcome to a MADlife production. Before we begin our discussion on Why You MAD, please take a moment to silence your phones and open your minds. Remember, this film is rated PG-13, so sit back, relax, and prepare for an informative journey about domestic violence.
Why does the MAD Foundation release a film to raise awareness and educate about domestic violence?
Hello, and welcome to the 2025 MAD About Domestic Violence Awareness and Educational Film. So guys, I'm Hassandra, and this is a one take. I'm not going to rewind one thing because I want this video to be as authentic as possible. I came to answer the question, why does the MAD Foundation actually do a film? Why do we take this time to put this film together? Well, as the founder and the president, one thing that I like to do is make sure that each board member and each MAD member is doing something that they are passionate about that can be inserted into the programming of the MAD Foundation. So what I'm most passionate about is domestic violence and bringing education and awareness to others about domestic violence. As a survivor myself, I think that by showing my truth and allowing other people to show their truth and give the information that they have to other people, it will enlighten and educate everyone who views this film and shares it with another. So it's very, very important to me. I remember when I first became open about the fact that I was experiencing a domestic violence situation, how other people just came out the woodworks and was like inboxing me, calling me, texting me, basically telling me how I helped them by telling my story. And little old me, this little dot on the earth that has a bright light, if by telling my story it helped that many people, I knew that other people had to be encouraged to tell their story as well. So we just try to get different people from the communities, our MAD family, business owners, just great people, good people, normal people, everyday people, people with titles as well, just to say a little something that enlightens the next person. So that's what the film is all about, y'all. We have done this is our third film that we have done, and it's just going well. It all started when COVID came about and we couldn't do our in-person event but still wanted to put something out there, so the film was birthed, and it's been going for the last 3 years. But if this is the last film that we create and we shift a little bit, it's okay, because these are always able to be reviewed online on our website as well. So you can always this information is not going to get old. You're going to have to keep putting it out there, and that's what we're going to do even if it's not in this form. But I hope you guys enjoy every single person that reminds you to get mad about domestic violence.
Emotional abuse is still abuse. Constant criticism, manipulation, and gaslighting can severely harm a person's mental health, often leaving deeper scars than physical wounds. What personal experiences have shaped your feelings about domestic violence?
Hi everyone, I'm Angel and I'm the Vice President of the Manifested Deliverance Foundation. All my life, I felt like I had to be strong, felt like I had to be the protector. I found myself in the middle of fights and arguments that weren't even my own, just to protect other people. I would find myself saying, this would never be me. This could never be me, until it was me. I became that girl. My ex and I were on vacation. I just remember us arguing. He had this look in his eyes like nothing was there. And before I knew it, he was standing over me and just was hitting me repeatedly. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, this can't be real life. This is not happening. He even grabbed me by my hair and threw me out of the room that we were sharing. And I remember calling for help. And when help got there, what did I do? I became his protector because I didn't want to see him in trouble. I was trying to be a thug. I was trying to tough it out, but I was scared out of my mind. I was alone in another country. I felt guilty, like I had no choice but to protect him. But in that moment, who was protecting Angel? I had no one, but I was trying to protect him. I was embarrassed. I was anxious, worried about him and what others would think about the situation, about what happened. Thoughts like what my friends would say if they would judge me, what my brother would do. But through it all, experience and perspective, it would change you. Like I said, I became that girl. Went from saying, oh, that would never be me, that could never be me, to being just that girl in that situation and protecting someone who hurt me. Cried about it, talked about it, I digested it. I listened to the advice of my friends, but it wasn't until this year, recently, where it finally hit home for me. So healing looks different for different people. So for me, I walked around believing that I was to blame because that's how he made me feel initially. I walked around believing that I was to blame because I felt like I added fuel to the fire by shouting back in the argument. That situation or incident was 2023 and it's now 2025. And I was finally able to release that pressure of weighted guilt for feeling like I was to blame. Someone close to me reassured me that it was okay to not feel like I was the one to blame. They told me that I needed to give myself some grace. They said the same grace that I give to other people in those situations that I found myself in, being a protector of other people, that same grace that I give to other people, I need to give to myself. And for the first time in a long time, I actually felt like I was able to release that pressure, that weighted pressure of feeling guilty. We all know that domestic violence looks different for different people. It feels different. The healing is different. It requires the right support. And I've been so grateful to have my MAD family there with me through it all. More than grateful for the soror sister that helped me be able to finally breathe beyond that guilt, for allowing me a safe space to process and now to heal.
Psychological abuse is still abuse. Psychological abuse involves manipulation, gaslighting, and threats to create fear and confusion.
Hi, my name is Felicia Pitts. I am the Chief Financial Officer of Manifested Deliverance Incorporated, and I am mad about domestic violence.
Financial abuse is still abuse. Financial abuse happens when one partner controls all the money, withholds funds, or prevents the other from working.
Hi, my name is Yvette Frazier. I'm the parliamentarian of MAD, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
Verbal abuse is still abuse. Verbal abuse can include yelling, name-calling, or degrading language intended to intimidate or control. As a writer, if you had to express domestic violence through your writing, what would you say?
My name is Deborah Tyler Cook. I am the owner and founder of Normal Defined LLC, and I am mad about domestic violence. God is love. So love, go ahead and be God. in that great big beautiful body that He's given you. You see, we were created to be His hands, His voice, His body here on earth. And love was the original blueprint, the original design. But when love is missing, abuse takes center stage. Domestic violence ain't just pain behind closed doors. It's a war against God's plan. It breaks identity, it shatters trust, it twists purpose, and it leaves souls in dust. Every hit, every insult, and every move of control is the attack on the truth of who we are and whose we are. Because love was meant to build, not bruise. Love was meant to heal, not wound. Love was meant to set free, not to consume. And so I ask, if God is love and we are His reflection, what does your life say? Are you showing His heart or are you tearing it apart? You see, I'm mad because silence protects the abuser. But truth sets us free. And the truth is, violence has no home in God's original design.
Expressing experiences with domestic violence through arts like writing and music can empower others on their path to survival. How do you think domestic violence impacts families and communities as a whole?
Hi, my name is Latoria Lynch. I am a subcontractor with the state of Georgia. I work with family and children, and I am also a certified hypnotherapist. I am the sole owner of IWantYouToHeal.com. Again, that is IWantYouToHeal.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, I Want You to Heal Hypnotherapy LLC, 912-552-0750. How do you think domestic violence impacts families and communities as a whole? In my line of work, I see and witness domestic violence cases almost on a daily basis. What is disheartening is that each party involved, there is something within them that think that it's okay. It is not okay to be a victim of domestic violence. It is not okay to be the aggressor in a domestic violence case. What saddens me is that I believe that each person in that situation has a root issue that hasn't been dealt with, and which would lead them to think to be the aggressor is okay or to be the victim is okay. And I believe that it's a mindset, and I do think that it can be learned behavior, and it makes one think that that's probably their only option, and it's not. It's not the only option. There is help available for both parties. There is help available. Please know there is help available. There are resources available in your local community. I would say reach out to your local churches, the local DFACS office. There are nonprofit organizations. I personally have worked with New Roots Glen. There are plenty of options that are available, but number one is please love yourself so you can heal for yourself. Love yourself, please. And again, me being a hypnotherapist, I've dealt with clients who have anger. So domestic violence, please, is not an option. It's not an option, and it's not acceptable. And I would love to know that if you need help, that you're going to reach out and get help. Someone is available. Someone is available for you. And love is the answer. Take care.
Digital abuse is still abuse. Digital abuse involves monitoring, harassing, or controlling someone through phones, social media, or tracking apps.
Hi, I'm Monica Little, owner of Little Delights by Monica, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
Non-physical abuse is still abuse. Non-physical abuse often escalates over time and can precede or accompany physical violence later on. In your opinion, what impact does the MAD Foundation have on the community in assisting survivors of domestic violence?
Peace, everybody. My name is Marie Tyson. I am the owner of Goddess Vibes Botanica, and today I'm going to be answering an interview question for Mrs. Sandra Jernigan and the Manifest Deliverance Foundation. The interview question that I chose was, in my view, what role does the Manifest Deliverance Foundation play in the community? And in my professional and in my personal experience, when you go to any MAD event or participate in anything that they are doing within the community, from the moment you walk in the door, you are seen as family. You are supported by real people with real life experiences. It doesn't matter what faith you come from. It doesn't matter what your personal life situation is. Anytime you are in the presence of Mrs. Sandra and her team, you are fully supported. You are provided for in the sense of developing a spiritual community, a sisterhood, and the city of Brunswick is very, very blessed to have this organization be a part of the community. Peace.
Jealousy is still abuse. Jealousy and possessiveness are often signs of controlling behavior, not love or care.
I am Waisha Hamilton, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
Risk factors. Factors such as substance abuse, mental health issues, and a history of witnessing or experiencing violence can increase the likelihood of domestic violence.
Hello, my name is Kathleen Albertson, and I'm mad about domestic violence, as so should you. This is my book entitled Beautifully Broken. It's a story of survival about how I got through my domestic violence situation. It's courage and resilience that we all possess, and we need to all work together to help end domestic violence. I hope that you see the importance in this as well, and together we can help make a difference.
Social abuse is still abuse. Social isolation is a tactic used to cut the victim off from friends, family, and support systems. What emotions do you feel when you hear about domestic violence cases in the news?
My name is Lee, and I am mad about domestic violence. What emotions do I feel when I hear about domestic violence cases in the news? I feel all kinds of stuff, mainly anger, fear, anxiety. It brings up all the things that I went through, hoping that they have somebody they can turn to, hoping that they had somebody they can trust enough to be open about their situation. 9 times out of 10, that was probably not the case. And sometimes I just wish I could call and help and in some way just be an ear or a shoulder. Because after all of it, when it's all said and done, when the case is closed, when you're finally in a place of comfort in a sense. There's still battles that you have to fight through it all, through the healing process, learning to unlearn all the things that you went through. I also wondered, did they have kids? Did their kids see it? Are their kids gonna need therapy? It's just a bunch of things that go through my mind, but mainly I'm praying that everyone involved is okay.
Need for support. There is a growing demand for support services specifically for male victims of domestic violence. Do you believe that enough is being done to address domestic violence in society? How does witnessing or hearing about domestic violence affect your view on relationships? What role do you think culture plays in responding to domestic violence?
Hi, I'm Cassandra Allen, and I'm mad about domestic violence. Today, I'll be answering a series of questions regarding my domestic violence experience and me being a domestic violence survivor. The first question is, do you believe that enough is being done to address domestic violence in society? My answer would be absolutely not. The reason being is that domestic violence goes unreported, as such as myself. Sometimes in cases we think we can handle things or we can get our way out of it. A lot of times the legal system doesn't handle it right. The predator is not held to the full extent or accountability for anything in that matter. So sometimes we think we can handle these things ourselves. So in society, we feel like we face stigmas and people sometimes don't believe us when it comes to domestic violence. The second question is, how do witnessing or hearing about a domestic violence affect your view on relationships? Well, hearing about domestic violence when it comes to relationships, sometimes it makes me feel fragile, real skeptical, or that it's a risk. But I tell you what domestic violence makes you appreciate. It makes you appreciate a healthy relationship. Sometimes your boundaries are up until you know that person is who they truly show themselves to be. Domestic violence, dealing with domestic violence survivors and also ongoing victims, it can be hard for them to trust anybody else when it comes to them. Sometimes we keep to ourselves and we're just trying to make it out. We keep our head down and on a swivel just to, see the next day, because honestly, you don't know if you're gonna make it. The third question would be, what role do you think culture plays in responding to domestic violence? I feel like culture plays a huge role when it comes to domestic violence. Some areas it's normalized, or you've seen it growing up. For me, I've seen domestic violence growing up, and I feel like it was okay at first. Like, it's okay because I seen this, and the person I seen, get abused, took it. So I was like, maybe it's okay if that happens one or two times, and we don't stop it or make it right when you're younger and you see that. It's just a cultural thing, and sometimes you see it keep happening and keep happening, so the cycle keeps happening.
Legal protections. Many countries have laws and protective measures in place to safeguard victims of domestic violence, though enforcement and access may vary.
I'm Alicia Brown, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
Non-physical abuse is still abuse. Non-physical abuse often escalates over time and can precede or accompany physical violence later on.
Hi, my name is T. I'm the founder of LIGHT, which is an acronym for Live Your Truth, and it's an outreach program for LGBTQ youth, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
LGBTQ+ community. Members of the LGBTQ+ community face domestic violence at rates comparable to or even higher than their heterosexual counterparts.
I'm Siani, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
Underreporting. Many cases of domestic violence go unreported due to fear, shame, or lack of trust in law enforcement.
KK, who? KK, what? KK, KK, that's me. KK, that's me. God in a body, new year, new age, same kid, new braids. It's 2020.
What do you wish others knew about children raised in domestic violence?
Hi, I'm Kaylee Michelle Smith. I am the owner of Let's Be Friends, the Adventure Book series. I'm the daughter of the president and founder of MAD, and I am mad about domestic violence. As a child, I saw my parents in an abusive relationship, and it was confusing. I thought it was normal, but deep down, I knew it wasn't. And one thing people assume about kids of domestic violence is that we mimic what we see. Like we're violent, we are dangerous, and overall just bad kids. And for me, I've chosen a completely different path. I think you should use your words less than your actions. And that's what I do. I've never been in a fight before because I choose to talk things out with the person that I'm arguing with. And even though in this day and age it is consumed as you're just weak or lame, it's not. Because from what I've saw in my home with my parents and what I've experienced with my parents, it's better for me to use communication than to harbor my anger and resort to violence. And that is why I am mad about domestic violence.
Impact on children. Children who witness domestic violence may experience long-lasting emotional and behavioral issues, even if they are not directly abused.
I'm Elijah Collins.
I'm Isaiah Hamilton, and we're mad about domestic violence.
About 1 in 10 young men experience domestic violence, highlighting the need for awareness and prevention.
Hello, my name is Michael Pitts, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
Male victims exist. Men can be victims of domestic violence and may experience physical and emotional abuse.
Hello, my name is Dion Cook. Coach Cook is what they call me, and I coach a local AAU team here in Brunswick, Georgia called the Gold Coast United. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I am mad about domestic violence.
Threats is still abuse. Threats of harm, to the victim, children, pets, or self, are used to maintain power and silence the victim. As a spiritual teacher, could you enlighten us about spiritual abuse?
Hi, I'm Isaac J. Miles Sr., and I'm the founder and spiritual director of the Emerge Life Enrichment Center, a virtual community empowering others to create, cultivate, and curate the life they desire. I'd like to take a moment and talk to you about the insidious nature of spiritual abuse. The word abuse comes from the Latin abusus, which means to use up, to misuse, to misapply, or to waste. The prefix ab means away from, wrong, or abnormal, and the root use is exactly what it sounds like, denoting the use or the practice of a thing. So abuse literally means the wrong or abnormal use of something, or the use of something in a harmful way. Spiritual abuse is one of the most subtle and most devastating forms of control and manipulation. It often hides behind sacred language, holy rituals, and promises of divine favor while quietly breaking down your self-worth, autonomy, and humanity. The very people that it claims to serve are made mental, and emotional slaves to the religious ideology. At its core, it's about manipulation. Religion in the hand of wrong leaders becomes less about connecting to the divine and more about controlling access to it. Followers are labeled and defined and boxed in, told who they are and what they can do and how far they are allowed to go or to grow. Many of those who call themselves spiritual leaders are really trapped in their own unresolved traumas and insecurities. And then out of that unhealed place, they construct a delusional sense of self-importance, masking low self-esteem with grand titles and unquestionable authority. What happens is that their pulpit becomes a platform for verbal, emotional, and spiritual abuse rather than the space for healing, development, evolution, and growth. So the traditions that once carried life are now twisted. Service becomes slavery. Your worth is measured by how much you give up and not by how much you thrive and grow. Preaching and prophecy becomes manipulation. Words that are used not to liberate but to guilt you or frighten you or control you or place restraints and confinement on you. Obedience becomes domination. It's a demand for unquestioning loyalty under the threat of rejection, shame, or eternal damnation. This is not spirituality. It's not even holy. It's abuse dressed up in holy clothes. So, I want to give you 5 signs that you might be in an abusive spiritual relationship. Number 1 is when your fear is elevated over your freedom. You're more afraid of punishment than inspired by the love. Number 2, when control is elevated above your choice. Your decisions, your relationships, or even your thoughts feel like they're being dictated by the leader or the group. Number 3, shame is elevated over growth. Your mistakes are weaponized against you instead of being used as an opportunity to heal, and you're told that you're not right, you're not saved, you're not holy. Number 4, when isolation is elevated above community. You're cut off from the outside voices that might challenge what the leaders say or the group's control. And then number 5, idolatry is elevated above authenticity. The leader's word is elevated above your own inner knowing and your connection with your own spirit. So here's what you can do. First, trust your inner voice because it is sacred. It is the voice of God. 2, seek safe, supportive communities outside of that abusive circle. 3, educate yourself about spiritual abuse and trauma. There's a lot of information available. 4, set clear boundaries, even if that means stepping away from the organization, group, or person. And then finally, reclaim your direct connection with the divine. No mediator is required to know God. True spirituality liberates, it uplifts, it heals, and anything less is manipulation masquerading as holy. My name is Isaac J. Miles Sr., and I'm mad about domestic violence.
Spiritual abuse is still abuse. Spiritual abuse can involve using religion or belief systems to control, shame, or silence a partner.
Hello, I'm Cedric Rainey, owner and founder of Enhancement of Health Massage Therapy. Domestic violence is not the answer or the solution. If you're that stressed, come and get a massage. Just relax. I'm Cedric Rainey, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
Help is available. Numerous hotlines and organizations provide support to victims of domestic violence, offering resources for safety and recovery. Could you please share your poem, Domestic Violence, and explain what inspired you to write it?
Domestic violence.
As I finished my song about Do Re Mi, violins played in the background. Exchanging the tremble for trebles, he read the clef note I left and responded by choking off my breath. I had just come back from my piano lesson. I really was not in the mood to hear his threatful confession, 'cause the music was still playing in my head. I did not want to give him the impression. I had finally composed the song representing the end of us, the end of lust, the end of all my fears and abuse for all these years. He heard me humming while he was beating me and realized I had changed. I was no longer playing his game. He couldn't smell the shame on me or the low self-esteem when I was team him. I had chosen Beethoven over him. Music was my new lover. He wanted me to stop humming, but I wouldn't. He tried to break my fingers like he broke my trust and my heart, but I kept on humming until I no longer felt his bite or his bark. He heard the ancient harps being played by my guardian angels as the Lord and the law took him away. I sat down and thanked God for the strength to compose this piece, to understand that we all have the ability to create a masterpiece that will change chaotic into melodic and abusive violent woes into life-changing crescendos. So, rise up, sisters, play on, sisters, compose your freedom songs until you embrace the beats that represent your peace. Peace. Do, re, mi, do, re, you, do, re, we, do, re, free.
I woke up. Spirit told me to write this for someone. Thank you, Annalie.
Hey guys, Sandra here again, the founder and president of the Manifested Deliverance Foundation, but most of all, that spark that comes into the lives of others to start or ignite the fire that's already within. I hope that you have enjoyed this film and that you feel more aware and more educated about domestic violence. If you missed the film last year, no problem. Just continue watching and continue to get mad the right way. And don't forget to get mad about domestic violence. Release. Relax. Receive. The Mad About Domestic Violence Awareness and Educational film, To Whom It May Concern, aims to raise awareness about domestic violence through diverse and creative expressions from survivors, individuals, and business owners. Hello, I am Hassandra, the president of the Manifest Deliverance Foundation, and I am passionate about the Mad About Domestic Violence Awareness and Educational film, To Whom It May Concern. I experienced domestic violence at a young age, and the cycle continued for almost 17 years. But I decided to get mad about domestic violence. I always express, yes, I am the founder and president of MAD, but we are the foundation. And this film is a grand representation of how we are mad about domestic violence.
Fly, 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 like an eagle in the sky. Fly, fly, fly high, fly high, like an eagle in the sky. Fly high, fly high, fly high, fly high, like an eagle in the sky. Fly high, fly high, fly high, fly high. I've been burning bridges with myself, so I won't return where I came from. Having conversation with myself, visiting the hurt that I've grown from. Now I'm stronger in my mind, wiser with my time, patient with myself, living, taking my next step with me, my
As I look back at my 32-year-old responses, I can't help but pinpoint the underlining tones of hurt projected through my release. It's astonishing to me how, 4 years ago, what I considered wisdom, I now perceive as a mere elementary mindset. 4 is a very powerful number. The number 4 is associated with self-expression and self-fulfillment. The number 4 also represents the maturity and stability of the mind. Within these last 4 years, I have begun to express myself even more, allowing self-fulfillment to become a part of my daily expectations. 1 year has 4 seasons. In 4 years, 4 cycles of seasons. I have discovered within myself a deeper meaning of what love really is. I now understand that only I hold the key to experiencing real love on my journey. This love journey has brought me back to a familiar space. It's brought me back to a position of understanding how simple love is, yet how complex I've made it to be. It's brought me back to a place of joy and a position of peace. This love journey has brought me back to the truth, which is, to be loved, I must first fall in love with me. I took this knowledge and ended the cycles of seasons that no longer serve my life. I ended the cycle of hurt, disappointment, rejection, blame, grief, silence, harvesting of feelings, negative energy, doubt, fear, and any other emotion that has hindered me from becoming a better me. I was overthinking love. I was overthinking myself out of being myself, and I was over it. Today I am so thankful for my journey and that I have decided to be unattached from my attachments. Daily I remind myself that to obtain who I want, I must first understand and become who I am. I am Hassandra, and this is my final season. I am unattached and transitioning into the birth of Hassandra, the authentic me.
Now, I am a God lover, a believer, a mother, an embracer of love, a small business owner, a nonprofit founder, an author, a motivational speaker, an artist, and so much more. But more importantly, I am a spark, that person that comes into the lives of others to start or ignite the fire that lies within. I am Hassandra, a better Hassandra.
Fly high, like an eagle in the sky. Fly high, fly high, fly high, fly high, like an eagle in the sky. Fly high, fly high, fly high, fly high, like an eagle in the sky.
Hey guys, so it's Angel, the Vice President of Manifested Deliverance Foundation, Incorporated. I'm coming on here to speak for all of the victims, all of the overcomers of domestic violence. I'm speaking for you. I'm speaking for us. I'm speaking for everyone as a whole. I really just want to come on here and debunk some domestic violence myths, because everyone seems to have opinions these days about what happens or what could happen or what should happen in a domestic violence situation. But until you're actually in one, you'll never know. First myth, domestic violence only happens to women. False. To whom it may concern, it happens to men too. There's about 1 in 4 or 1 in 3 women and about 1 in 9 men that experience domestic violence on a regular basis. Like, it is not just women. Women can be aggressive just like men can be aggressive. So it's not just one-sided. 2, domestic violence is only physical abuse. That is false. To whom it may concern, domestic violence is all-encompassing. It can be sexual, it can be verbal, it can be mental, emotional. There can be financial constraints, intimidation tactics. There's everything. Speaking for self, I know what that mental feels like. Part of the reason why I had to seek my therapist, because it got so bad that my anxiety was out of control. My anxiety was so bad. It was honestly off the charts. My therapist, she said that it was pretty high. It was pretty high. But that's mainly because of the restraints that was holding me hostage mentally in that relationship. I had to do something. So just know that you're not alone, and it is far beyond just physical.
Hello, my name is Felicia Pitts. I am an accounting specialist and an entrepreneur, and I am also the treasurer of MAD, and I am mad about domestic violence.
Let me see what's going on. Child, they out there fighting again, and in front of these children. Can you believe it? I'm so mad, but you know what? I have decided that I'm going to get mad the right way. My name is Deborah Tyler Cook. I'm the founder of Normal Defined LLC and the secretary of Manifest the Deliverance Foundation. And I am mad about domestic violence. And I'm here to challenge you. Stand up, reach out, do something. Don't just observe when you see domestic violence. Do something. Get mad the right way.
Hi, I'm Yvette Frazier, and I'm one of the board members of MAD, and I'm mad about domestic violence. Ladies, gentlemen, please stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. You are one of God's creations. You are a diamond in the rough. Please get the help you need. You have no reason to be used and abused. There's plenty of services out there. Please use them. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. Love y'all.
Hey y'all, what's up? This your girl, Tiffany McCaster, and I just want to let you know I am mad about domestic violence. To whom it may concern. I am sorry for not believing you and telling you to stay. I thought he really loved you. He said he was your bae. You were always happy with a smile on your face, but deep down inside, you were hiding what was happening in your personal space. I never saw you with a bruise or a mark, but I should have noticed when your spirit grew dark. Domestic violence is not always physical or harming intent, but can be psychological and pure mental torment. Our hearts are heavy for all the millions lost, for at the hand of violence, your life was cost. So we will raise our voices high above the sky to break the silence, and hand in hand, we will stand against domestic violence.
Hi, my name is Shalina Waddell. I'm 47 from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a self-taught graphic designer, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
I'm Sidani, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
Letter to my abuser. To my tormentor and assailant, 13 years have passed since I became an overcomer. I don't identify as a victim because I refuse to give you that power over me. A victim remains trapped in their circumstances, while an overcomer actively seeks to make better choices and improve their life. Looking back at my journey, I see that is precisely what I have done, and will continue to do. As I sit down to write this letter, I can hardly believe the journey I've traveled. Standing in front of the mirror today, I see more than just my reflection. I see the resilience and growth that have reshaped me into who I am now. The scar beneath my left eye, a faded reminder of the past you left me with, speaks volumes about the battles I've fought and the strength I've found within myself. People often tell me that I don't look like what I've been through, And for that, I'm deeply grateful. It reminds me that despite the pain, I have emerged stronger. That scar is not just a mark. It's a testament to my transformation, a symbol of the trials I've faced and overcome. I remember the moments when I almost lost my way, when your cruel words pierced my heart, attempting to convince me of my unworthiness. You'll never be a good mother. No one will ever want you, you said, and those words echoed in my mind long after you uttered them. We were both so young, caught in a whirlwind of toxicity and chaos. It took me years to understand that some things simply cannot coexist. Our relationship became a toxic storm, leaving me exhausted and confused as I battled the shadows of doubt and desperately held on to the belief that staying with the father of my child meant staying no matter what. As time passed, your anger escalated, and the words transformed into physical manifestations. I can still remember the heavy tension that filled the air, thick and suffocating as if the walls themselves held their breath. The shoving, the slaps, the punching and neck grabs, the breaking and entering my home, the hiding in the bushes and staring down the barrel of a gun, they were all part of a battle I never wanted to fight. "What took you so long?" you yelled, your voice echoing off the walls, a thunderous crack that made me flinch. I tried to explain, but my words fell on deaf ears. You advanced, each step deliberate, like a predator stalking its prey. I could see your fists clenching, the muscles in your arms taut with anger. When you struck me, you broke my nose, and blood splattered on the walls. At least this time, our daughter didn't wake up to see the blood and ask, "Daddy, why is Mommy bleeding?" It felt like the world shattered around us. You struck me again, and I gasped, the air knocked from my lungs, staggering backward until the wall hit me like a cold slap. I screamed. But that was enough for you. You got on the bed, jumped midair, and kicked me in the face, sending me crashing to the ground. I cried out for help in desperation, and your brother came in, panicking as he yelled, "Please stop, stop! There's blood everywhere! You're going to kill her! That girl has been at work, man!" You looked at him as I lay lifeless on the floor and responded, "So you fucking her?" Your brother couldn't believe what you said. He looked at you in disbelief and said, "No, but your insecurities are going to get her killed and you locked up, and I'm not going to jail with you. I'm leaving." I cried even more, and in a faint voice I said, "Please don't leave." Your rage was a force of nature, and I was merely a leaf caught in its storm. You looked at me, becoming even more furious, and I could hear the sickening thud of your fist against my body, the sound reverberating in my ears like a funeral bell, tolling for my spirit. At one moment, I just wanted to die. I thought to myself why my previous suicide attempts hadn't been successful. As I lay on the floor, my body aching and bruised, I could see the flicker of something in your eyes. A moment of realization, or maybe exhaustion, because you finally stopped. You stepped back and left the room. I cried as I lay on the ground. No phone, no family, no one but me and God. I kept asking, what did I ever do to deserve this? An hour later, you came back and forced yourself on me. Weak and fragile, I gave up. You told me I would give you a son against my will. During my years with you, I faced relentless abuse, beaten, financially manipulated, and held hostage in our own home. I learned that you had been diagnosed with schizophrenia, but refused to seek help. I contemplated suicide. Each bruise, each scar, and each tear became a part of a painful tapestry I was desperate to unravel. I had to find the strength to reclaim my life, to break free from the chains that bound me to a love that had morphed into something unrecognizable. I had to learn that love cannot thrive in a garden of thorns. Today, I stand tall and proud, a testament to the journey I have traveled. I am no longer defined by the scars or the shadows of my past. Instead, I wear them as badges of honor, proof that I have risen from the ashes of despair. My reflection now radiates a sense of peace and purpose, a reminder that transformation is possible, even when the road seems daunting. Each day, I chose to confront my past instead of hiding from it. I learned to embrace the scars, both visible and invisible, transforming them into symbols of strength rather than shame. As I look into my own eyes, I see a mother, one who is worthy, powerful, and full of love. I have broken the cycle, and in doing so, I have created a legacy of strength for my children. They will know a mother who fought for them, a woman who chose courage and not societal norms, healing over hurt, and who transformed pain into power. 13 years later, I am finally home within myself. Each day, I chose to confront my past instead of hiding from it. You were my assailant, and I thank you because I learned to embrace the scars, both visible and invisible, transforming them into symbols of strength rather than shame. Leaving and deciding never to look back was and will forever be the best decision I ever made. So, this letter serves as a testament to my journey. So, to my tormentor, I am moving forward, leaving behind the shadows of your shame and character. But I thank you for freeing me from mine. Sincerely, an overcomer.
Going forward, I'm asking God to forgive me for my sins, even though I'm not done sinning.
Hello, my name is Michael Pitts, and I'm mad about domestic violence. You know, a lot of people look at men as being strong and don't have to really show their feelings, but there are men out here that go through this same situation and that are hurt or have been hurt, and we're here to spread the word.
Hey, I'm Caleb Griffin, and I'm mad about domestic violence. Domestic violence is the heartbreaking reality that impacts countless individuals and families every day. Another heartbreaking reality is you may have friends and family members that you speak with all the time, and you may never know that they are in a domestic violence situation right now. By speaking out, we can break that stigma. Breaking the stigma will allow individuals in domestic violence situations to have that courage to seek the resources needed to get them out of that situation. As allies, it is our duty to support domestic violence survivors, educate our communities, and advocate for the change that we want to see. Remember, you are not alone. Let's stand together and break the silence.
Hi, my name is Shane McMullen. I used to be a victim of domestic violence. I used to go to work every day with bite marks on my arms, bruises on my chest, claw marks on my face. It's not a good environment for you or for kids. And I'm mad about domestic violence.
Hello, my name is Dion Cook. Coach Cook is what they call me, and I coach a local AAU team here in Brunswick, Georgia called the Gold Coast United. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I am mad about domestic violence. Too often, the victims of domestic violence tend to go silent, feeling like they don't have help. There's nobody to reach out to us. There's nobody that's sharing the struggle with you. And I'm here to tell you that there is help.
Hi, I'm Joshua Lewis, and I'm mad at domestic violence. In the U.S., domestic violence affects millions of people every year. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men. Domestic violence causes physical and psychological health issues that decrease the quality of life and in some instances end in death. But there are many ways to ensure a healthy and non-violent relationship. Always seek counsel, pastor at a church, close family members, close friends, whoever can be that level head to calm things down when things get out of control. I too am a survivor of domestic violence, and some of the things I practiced when things were getting out of hand was just walking away. You know what I mean? Just taking a breather, going to another room, closing the door behind myself, locking the door, leaving the house, take a few hours away from the house. Just don't stay and let things escalate. Always try to find a way to de-escalate the situation. Be resilient, be humble, pray, whatever you can do. I am also a soldier in the U.S. military, and I deal with a lot of soldiers who deal with domestic violence with their significant other or their spouses. We have a lot of resources that are available for soldiers, 1-800 numbers, chaplains, mediation, you name it, Always be proactive in domestic violence. Don't wait until things just get out of hand. If you and your significant other or spouse keep having issues, be proactive and find ways to make your relationship healthy, non-violent, and loving. I'm Joshua Lewis once again, and I'm mad at domestic violence.
A letter to my abuser. Dear Carl, I used to hope one day you would apologize for what you did to me. I thought it would help me to move on. It has been 30 years and you never did. And you know what? That never happened, but that is okay, because I do not believe that you are sorry for anything. When someone is really sorry for their actions and the impact their actions had on someone, they take an actual accountability for what they did. You took away who I was and made me a shell of a human being. At the time, I believed I deserved it. You found many ways to make me think it was my fault. I now know it is not. It took me many years to get here. I would ask, why me? But I now know the why is so I can help another person in my position. I am no longer scared of you. I am no longer afraid. I feel nothing for you anymore. But I did get my voice back, and I am here to say, because of you, I now am strong, brave, enough, and most of all, a survivor.
I am love. I am love. I am me. Me, 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 me. I'm God in a body. God in a body. I am smart. I am a leader. I shine bright. Let me go deeper. I am spiritual. I am logical. Kaylee, are you done? Nope. Surprise. There is more in me. More than you can see. Yeah. I am smart. I am smart. I am creative. I am me.
Hi everyone, I'm Kaylee Michelle. I'm an author, entrepreneur, and entertainer, and I'm here to say I am mad about domestic violence.
Tell someone.
Tell someone.
Tell someone.
Tell someone. Tell someone.
I wonder if they ever think about me. The men. The ones who took from me what I may have freely given if I'd been allowed more time to make a decision. I wonder if they ever think about me. My eyes. Do they see my eyes and my face and their thoughts as vividly as I see theirs? Do they daydream about me like I do about them? Are they haunted the way I'm haunted by that moment from our past that should have led to us being locked up? Them behind bars and me behind brick walls and soft white rooms and drug-induced compliance? I wonder if they ever think about me. They're kids. Do they become fearful now, like I was fearful then, when they see their daughter on a man's lap, or if their daughter is flirting or being fast or thinks she's grown or she wanted it, or she went to his house at booty call hours, or she wore something revealing, or behaved like a whore, or had slept around a lot, or she had asked for it, or waited until the moment before penetration to change her mind. I wonder if they ever think of me. The men, the ones who took from me what I may have freely given if I'd been allowed more time to make a decision. I wonder if they ever think about me, my skin. Do they remember my touch when they're all alone? My nails in their skin, my palms pushing, my legs crossing, my feet kicking, my thighs clenching. Do they remember how my perspiration felt on their skin, or the saltiness of my tears? Are they scrubbing their skin the way I scrub my skin when they remember, like I do? Do they wash in the hottest water they can stand, hoping to scald away the memory of those touches? I wonder if they ever think about me. With her, when she smiles and laughs and bats her eyelashes and wears that little thing he likes, do they think about me? Do they remember the way I smiled and how my laugh sounded before the weight of their decision brought me down? Do they remember the way my voice sounded as I sobbed, begged, pleaded, yelled, "No, stop, please, don't quit, get off me, I won't tell, I don't want to, you're hurting me, help, let me up, I'm going to tell, I hate you"? Do they remember the innocence they stole from me? Does she have it? Will they take hers too? Or was it all about me? Me, the one whose choice they took. whose voice they ignored, whose tears they overlooked. Me, who may have freely given if truly given a chance. Me, this girl, this woman, this wife, this mother, this daughter, this aunt, this grandma. Me. I wonder if they ever think about me.
Hello, my name is Alicia Woodard.
My name is Bobby Woodard.
And we are mad about domestic violence. We are also independent scented consultants. We sell warmers, wax, cleaning products, body products, laundry products, and so much more. We're also the owners of Beyond the Seas Travel. So if you're looking for that short cruise, long cruise, getaway weekend, romantic weekend, a wedding honeymoon, please give us a call.
What's up, everyone? My name is Natalia Lee Bell. I am a chef. I am a financial services consultant. I am a new mom. I'm also a Blue Heart member of the MAD organization, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
I'm mad about domestic violence. I know many people who have been victims of domestic violence, either through work as my patients, friends, and myself with a former partner. LGBTQ people are at a higher risk of domestic violence than their straight counterparts. Transgender people specifically are reporting over 50% of past instances of domestic violence when interviewed, according to the Human Rights Campaign. Violation of your trust, of your love, of your care is not worth protecting anyone. So, if you're being harmed, you need to speak out and reach out to someone and get help.
I'm Alicia Brown, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
Hi, my name is T. I'm the founder of LIGHT, which is an acronym for Live Your Truth, and it's an outreach program for LGBTQ youth, and I'm mad about domestic violence.
Ask Granny, ask Granny.
Got a question on your mind?
Ask Granny.
Turn it into MADlife.
Ask Granny.
Need some wisdom, insight?
Ask Granny. Ask Granny.
Before I start, I just want to thank her, Sandra. I want to thank her for bailing me out of jail. Ooh. I'm getting a hot flash. Hold on. They tried to make me put on a jumper suit And I told him, no, I ain't putting on that thing. I see too many TV shows. And I don't even take my glasses off. And they kept me there for 2 days. But they didn't make me put that jumper suit on, so I'm grateful for that. But, child. Enough about me, child. I just got to tell you this story. I'm here to speak to y'all about domestic violence. Domestic violence. That word violence is vile. It's vile behavior. Now, violence on any level ain't good. But we talk about domestic violence. Because I did something violent. But I was protecting my great-great-great-grandbaby. You see, she was in a 10-year relationship with her baby daddy, her boo thing. Well, and they had 2 children together in them 10 years. So those children is now old enough to witness the things that's going on in the house, and it ain't good. Everybody try to talk to her. I try to talk to her. But it didn't work. So 10 years later, I'm in jail. Oh, Lord. He came to the house. They kind of lived together. He came to the house, and then they got into it. But see, elders, we have a gift in the village. And I had a gift. And I had a knowing. And the 2 children were staying with me, just visiting for a couple of days. But I got this feeling. So I called my neighbor, tell her watch the kids, jump in the Uber with my cane, and I went right over there, and the door was open. And I walked right in, and you wouldn't believe it. They was going at it. He was just kicking her all over her body. And she just had got her nails done. And she kept saying, all I could hear say, well, my nail just got me. He didn't care about nothing. And they was going back and forth. He telling her if he can't have her, nobody will. And she was talking about her nails. And she was done with him. And all this was going on. And when he went down on her to choke her out, I took that cane. They didn't even know I was there. I took that cane and I busted him to the white meat. Now that's why I'm talking about violence ain't good on no level, but I don't know what else I could have needed to get him off her. So I had sense enough to tell my neighbor to call 911 because 911 ain't gonna be there too fast if they call because they got them lit up like a Christmas tree, always having arguments, always having domestic issues. So as soon as I bust into the right, there they come. And they took her to the emergency room. They arrested him. Oh, I didn't tell you, he took one of them nails that popped off and started scratching himself. Talking about she hit me too. She hit me too. And so they took her to the emergency. They took him to jail because she was all messed up. And then they took me to jail for helping, trying to get off her. So I goes to jail. I call her Sandra. I goes to jail. I stayed there 2 days. But when I went before that judge, I told him, I said, Your Honor, I was protecting her honor. He beat her. Like now he's going off, Your Honor. I don't want no felony. You know, domestic violence is a felony charge. And he looked at me. They had the evidence. They had the broke cane. And then he just said, okay, I'm going to let you out on your own regardless or something. And I ain't never been there. I was just okay. And now I'm here. But let me tell y'all something. And this is what you must understand. When you're in a situation like that, I don't care if it's man beating women, women beating men, you need a safe place. You need one place where you can go that the abuser don't know about. You ain't talking on the phone or telling the abuser what they said and how they trying to help you get out the relationship. You gotta have a safe place that you can go where they can't follow you. She went to shelter homes. People talk so much he knew she was dead. That ain't good, so we need a safe place. Okay, y'all? And then we need not only a safe place, we need a safe place, and we need to talk about it to people. You can't keep it a secret. You can't. And then you got to involve the children. The children is the ones that suffer. In the womb, them children been experienced that harsh words and vibrations in the womb, and they scared to death. That's not good for their future. And I'm going to tell you something else. I have no problem with domestic violence. I loved my husbands to death. 3 of them died, but it was from love. It was loving each other to death. There wasn't no fighting or nothing going on. No. That was real respectful. And they was respectful. We worked together, but the times we living in, they times. So, I want to tell you this. Let me catch myself. We got to put an end to this situation. Not just for the month. We need to be doing stuff all year long. Let MADlife help you do things all year long to build you up so you can walk away. She in the ER right now. She ain't walking away. She there, healing. And I'm reeling. So, it's never too late. There's old people getting beat up too. And I just thank everybody for letting me sit here. Why is your phone going off so much? Hassan, your phone keep ringing. It's for me. Huh? Oh, what? It's for me? Okay. Wait, put that ear thing in there. Hello? Uh-huh. This Granny. Child, you kidding? What? He got out on bail? Oh, Lord, where we at? No, he didn't. He picked up. He went back to the house. Hold on a minute, y'all. Huh? She left she got out of the emergency room. They let her out. She had no insurance. Uh-huh. Oh, Lord. The children at my house. Huh? The Sandra bailed me out. Why he killed her? He did what? Oh, Lord have mercy. He killed her. He killed my great-grandbaby. Oh, Lord. Take me, Lord. Take me, Lord. Oh, take me. I ain't domestic violence. But I got to talk to you later.
I dedicate this to my sisters who are in a toxic relationship or facing domestic violence. Just know there's always a better way. I am the Poet Empress, and you're listening to Broken Record. I know you gave him your heart, but he tore that thing apart. I know he tells you he loves you, but you know he sees other girls. So how can you believe him? He shows you he's a whore. You let him disrespect you in your face, and he justifies his lies. You tell him never to come back, so he apologized. That's why you cut him some slack. Time again, he's back in your life. He puts his hands on you, and I know you feel like there's no end, when all you want from him is love and a friend. Seems like no matter which way you go, that life just seems to follow, leading you down a dark road of sorrow, filled with pain and no tomorrow. You let him show you no respect, and he always complains, cut you down and call you out your name. That's not love, my sister. You see, all he's gonna do is use you because you gave it to him for free. My advice is it's time to move on. The record is broken. This is a sad ass song, but don't take it from me. Please read about who you really are in Titus 2:1-3. My sister, expand your mind. Realize who you are. You are a princess, nothing more and nothing less. Don't let a man define you who has lost his way. He's gonna kill your spirit if you allow him to stay. He's tearing you down each and every day. A real man would lift you up, make you his wife, and lead you to Christ. But you wouldn't be a baby mama, but a family with a completely different life. Enduring together so your prayers are not hindered. Yeah, you can have a husband. This I say is true, because not only will he be in love with Christ, but baby girl, he will be in love with you. But don't take that from me either. Go take a look at Ephesians 5:33. Why continue to let him put you down and labelize your name? All because he's mad his childhood was lame. Don't let him keep tearing your spirit down because his isn't right. And we all know when he tells the story, there's not a sin in sight. So stay strong in the Lord and the power of his might, because only for the Lord is it even worth any fight.
Fly, 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 like an eagle in the sky. Fly, 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 like an eagle in the sky. Fly, 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 like an eagle in the sky. Fly, 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 fly.
I've been burning bridges with myself, so I won't return where I came from. Having conversation with myself, visiting the hurt that I've grown from. Now I'm stronger in my mind, wiser with my time, patient with myself, living, taking my next step with me, my life.